viewers, they say what goes around comes around. A few weeks back, the Congress was accusing the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab of vendetta politics. You might remember all of that after the state police there arrested a senior Congress leader called Sukhpal Khera in an alleged drugs and money laundering case that was also investigated by the Enforcement Directorate. That's a coincidence, isn't it, viewers? The AAP then had justified the arrest. Today, when the Enforcement Directorate arrested yet another Aam Aadmi Party leader, this time Member of Parliament Sanjay Singh, the AAP accused the centre of using the Enforcement Directorate, the same Enforcement Directorate, viewers, to settle political scores. When the shoe is on the other foot, the ED is clearly reliable for the Aam Aadmi Party, but when it pinches, the Enforcement Directorate becomes a caged parrot, to use a phrase that was once used by the Supreme Court to describe the CBI. But more on the irony later, viewers. First, a quick look at the dramatic developments of today, and you can see those visuals on your screens. Just look, viewers, at the ED once again becoming the news by leading that raid. Extreme right there on your screens, that was the footage of the ED raid. Now Sanjay Singh waving to the crowds as he's arrested and taken in that car to the Enforcement Directorate's office here in the Union capital. Now viewers, Sanjay Singh has been arrested allegedly because a liquor scam accused, who also claims to know the AAP MP, has turned approver. This is what we are being told. The Enforcement Directorate sources have told CNN News18 that restaurant owner Dinesh Arora has confessed to meeting Sanjay Singh, who was a conduit, alleged conduit to Manish Sisodia. The ED claims that the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, who has of course been in jail, took bribes from Dinesh Arora after Sanjay Singh facilitated their meeting. And the meeting, apparently, viewers, according to the Enforcement Directorate, also happened at Mr. Kejriwal's residence. That is what we are being told. Now, whether that is true or not, whether that is heresy, we don't know, viewers. But here's what Dinesh Arora is thought to have told the Enforcement Directorate. And he says, I met Kejriwal in 2021. Sanjay Singh was present when I met Mr. Kejriwal. I connected with Manish Sisodia via Sanjay Singh. Very important. That's how the link is being drawn. Met at Unplugged Courtyard restaurant in Delhi. Sanjay Singh requested me to speak with the owners. He goes on saying, arranged checks worth 82 lakhs from restaurant owners. I handed these checks over to Manish Sisodia. AAP leaders were collecting funds for Delhi election. Look at the linkages, viewers. Met Kejriwal at his residence along with Sanjay Singh. This is what this individual, Arora, has supposed to have told the Enforcement Directorate as he turned approver. The ED action has prompted a bitter war of words between the BJP and the AAP. Let's listen in to what's been going on as the blame game rages. Listen in.
पैसे बांट रहे थे, करोड़ों रुपया ले रहे थे, तो भैया जेल तो जाना ही पड़ेगा, साफ तो देना ही पड़ेगा। अब कह रहे जी वेंडेटा पॉलिटिक्स है, अब अपने आप को सिंपैथी लोगों की लेने की कोशिश कर रहे थे कि हम तो मासूम हैं, हम इंसाफ के लिए लड़ते रहे। ये झूठ तो तुम पहले से भी बोलते थे, जब तुम कहते थे कि हम सेंट्रो कार में घूमेंगे, और उसके बाद तुम घूमते हो आजकल लैंड क्रूजर में 2-2 करोड़ रुपए की, कहते थे कमरे के मकान में रहेंगे, 50 करोड़ के मकान में रहते हो, कहते थे हम ट्रेन में जाएंगे, आजकल तो तुम प्राइवेट जहाज में जाते हो जिसका किराया भी 50 लाख रुपया है। तो तुमने केवल और केवल बेईमानी किया, लूटा है, और अब लूट का हिसाब मिल रहा है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, ये हिसाब आपको भी देना पड़ेगा। जो पैसा आपने इकट्ठा किया है, जो आपका सपना था देश का सबसे अमीर मुख्यमंत्री बनने का, वो सपना चूर चूर हो रहा है।
जो सबसे प्रखर वक्ता रहा पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, जिसने मणिपुर की आवाज उठाई, मणिपुर में औरतों को नग्न घुमाएगा उसकी आवाज उठाई, मणिपुर में हो रही हिंसा की आवाज उठाई, उसको अब संसद से ही नहीं निकाला, आज उसको जेल भेज रहे हो। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि भाजपा माइंडसेट खो चुकी है, उनको डर दिख रहा है 24 के हार का। इंडिया की जीत सुनिश्चित है और सबका फैसला होगा। हमारा रणनीति अहिंसक रूप में संघर्ष है, संघर्ष करेंगे, सड़क पे भी करेंगे, संसद में भी करेंगे, कोर्ट में भी करेंगे।
Viewers, let's go straight across to Anshul, Arunima, Anvit and Ananya. They are all covering this story ever since the morning. First of all, everyone, what a stellar effort on your parts. It's been a long day and great to see you still out there. Thank you very much. Arunima, let me come straight to you. The Enforcement Directorate is yet to file an ECIR, which is the FIR that they usually file. Have they done so? Or has Sanjay Singh just been arrested without, as of now, an ECIR being filed? Arunima, can you hear me? Has an ECIR been filed by the Enforcement Directorate? Great to see you. It's been a long day for you.
This is an ongoing investigation. Thank you, Rahul. But just to point out, this is an ongoing investigation. So it's in the same ECR in which Manish Sisodia was arrested, in which the entire excise policy scam probe has been going on. Multiple prosecution complaint, charge sheet as we call it in common terminology, they have been filed. So what the ED has been doing is that after every charge sheet that they file, they have been apprising the court that the investigation is ongoing. This is part X of our investigation. This is part Y of our investigation. Sanjay Singh, in fact, was named in the charge sheet earlier too, but his name was just mentioned as as something that had happened. He was not really named as an accused. What was it that ED had said earlier? It said that one of the accused turned approver, Dinesh Arora, had mentioned 2-3 things about Sanjay Singh. First, that Sanjay Singh was present at Arvind Kejriwal's residence when Dinesh Arora met the Delhi Chief Minister. Second, that Sanjay Singh asked Dinesh Arora to help him raise 80+ lakh rupees from the restaurateurs community, and that was done by Dinesh Arora. Third, that it was Sanjay Singh's recommendation which led Dinesh Arora to meet Manish Sisodia. Manish Sisodia and Dinesh Arora both are key accused in this entire allegation of liquor policy scam, and the two of them met because of Sanjay Singh's intervention. And fourth, and not the last one, is that there was some dispute about a Pitampura shop that Arora was trying to sort out with the excise department. It was Sanjay Singh's intervention that led to that dispute getting solved. So all of these facts were mentioned by Enforcement Directorate in its prosecution complaint, but they did not proceed further. Now what officials are telling me is that they have reasons to believe that these were not innocuous developments. These were linked to the overall conspiracy, that the money trail reaches Sanjay Singh, and now that Dinesh Arora has turned an approver, they have reasons to confront Sanjay Singh with the new evidence and the new testimonies that have been thrown up, the reason why he was searched this morning and the arrest happened this evening.
Well, thanks Arunima for that very comprehensive update. Of course, it remains to be seen what corroborative evidence the ED is relying on, apart from, of course, this statement from this approver. That will be the interesting thing. But Kejriwal already tweeting, the Delhi Chief Minister, saying more arrests before 2024. This is because Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister, is nervous, and of course that the BJP and the NDA believe that they are out of the reckoning for 2024. That's really the gist of what Arvind Kejriwal has been saying. Let me quickly go across to Anshul, who's at Sanjay Singh's residence, I'm told. Anshul, just a little while back, Sanjay Singh's father spoke to Times Now, reiterating the vendetta claim. But Anshul, very quickly, Sanjay Singh has been the most visible face taking on the government in Parliament on pretty much a daily basis during the sessions. So he has been a vociferous critic, constant critic, a thorn in the flesh. How do you assess the claims that are being made now by the ED with regards to what the AAP is considering there?
So yes, the Aam Aadmi Party since day one, if you see, has been claiming that this is nothing but political vendetta. In fact, initially when this entire case was registered by the Central Bureau of Investigation in the month of February, if I remember correctly, last year, when this case was registered, since then the Aam Aadmi Party has constantly been claiming that this is nothing but political vendetta and they won't be able to find anything. But since the investigation has gone on, several people have been arrested. These people have made their statements. Initially, Manish Sisodia was arrested in the same manner because of the statements that were made post that we saw that raids took place, post which we saw that Manish Sisodia was questioned by the CBI initially at their headquarters, post which Manish Sisodia was taken into custody. But this time around, since Sanjay Singh has today been arrested, Sanjay Singh has still not been made an accused in this entire matter. His name still comes up at least 26 times in the charge sheet that has been filed by the Enforcement Directorate in this entire matter, and hence the questioning for Sanjay Singh became something of utmost importance for the Enforcement Directorate, and that is the reason why after Dinesh Arora turned an approver in this entire matter, the Enforcement Directorate had no other option but to come out and question Sanjay Singh at his residence. Now, the questioning went on for more than 8 to 10 hours, and post that we saw the kind of scenes that broke out over here. We were just speaking to the father of Sanjay Singh, and at that exact very point there was a sort of a bait and charge that happened, and in fact police officials went inside the residence of Sanjay Singh as well. What the people and the workers are claiming at this point in time is that the police had also attacked the people who were inside the residence, but yes, there is no conclusive evidence regarding that. But yes, what our camera has caught at this point in time is that we saw a battalion of police rushing right inside the house of Sanjay Singh, as there were a lot of protests that were happening outside the gate since morning. Since the last 3 to 4 hours, we have seen that there was a heavy protest that had broken out, and
dramatic
once Sanjay Singh was taken out from here, the workers got out of control.
Taking us through those dramatic scenes, that's where Sanjay Singh was picked up from. He was being, of course, questioned after the raids on his homes. Viewers, the AAP may be crying foul today, but it does have a lot to answer for in connection with the Liquorgate scandal. I'm not saying that. News18 is not saying that. The courts have not exactly sympathized with the AAP. Scathing indictments, specifically with regards to Mr. Sisodia, who got no relief, remember, from the courts. He's been in jail since February. So, viewers, what do we know? The role of third parties in finalizing policy raises red flags. I'm not saying it, the courts have said it. News18 is not saying it, the courts have said it. Witnesses show role of outsiders in drafting policy. That's also what the court has observed. Evidence indicates policy framed in an opaque manner. It's a serious observation. Sisodia unable to pass, quote, triple test, unquote, for bail under PMLA. As you know, viewers, he has been languishing in jail since February. Senior bureaucrats indicate no discussions on material points. This is a big omission. Even with no recovery of proceeds, conduct amounts to involvement. Now, this is a very salient point, because constantly the AAP is saying this is one of those zero-loss scams where no money has been recovered from any one of our arrested, jailed senior leaders. But the court says that that is not necessary a sign of innocence, viewers. Threat of influencing witnesses given accused political position. So, sending him out on bail could mean that there could be interference in the case probe. That's the reason why the court, viewers, has rejected Sisodia's bail and has also, viewers, passed these observations. Viewers, while the Liquorgate probe is unraveling, it is best to stick to the facts. And the hard facts that I always bring to you, to bring you closer to the truth, suggest that the AAP is selective when it criticizes the Enforcement Directorate and when it chooses to believe it. Here are what the hard facts say. And these are important points, viewers. Remember, in Punjab, the Punjab police, the SIT there, arrested Congress's Khera in the PMLA case, linked to 2016 drug case. It went back all those years. The ED had probed the link and arrested Khera first. Does AAP pick and choose when to support the ED? Here, it has backed the ED action. The ED provided the raw data. The Punjab police built on that investigation, and now the Congress leader Khera is in jail in Punjab. Viewers, an even clearer backing of the Enforcement Directorate came a couple of years ago, when the AAP was toying with the idea of challenging Mamata Banerjee on her own turf in Bengal. The AAP then welcomed the ED action on TMC leaders, asking them to, and I quote, face the agencies, unquote. That is what the AAP said with regards to the TMC leaders who were booked by the Enforcement Directorate. Again, the big question, does AAP pick and choose when to support the Enforcement Directorate? fundamental questions. This is also true of Karti Chidambaram. When Karti Chidambaram was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in a case, viewers, an alleged case of money laundering, the NX media case as it was called, then too the AAP remained absolutely silent over Karti's arrest, even though the Congress was crying foul. Let's open this up, viewers. Let's ask some pointed questions, and let me first begin with a person who is not connected in any which way to this investigation. He's a public intellectual, a member of our society. Let me bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, look, we all know that the Enforcement Directorate hasn't got the most stellar record, and we can go into the fine points about how many convictions and the rate of conviction, etc., etc. But what strikes me at first glance, and I put out the hard facts, so viewers, you can't accuse me of making a statement which is not based on facts. So Dr. Ranganathan, what I find profoundly interesting is that the AAP selects when it wants to back the ED and when it wants to keep an arm's length from the ED. How do you explain this?
Good evening, Rahul. First of all, can I please, with your permission, gently castigate you for abusing me straight up, calling me a public intellectual? No, I'm nothing of that sort. But as I see it, there are three issues here. Number one, this alleged corruption and mismanagement because of the liquor policy under the watchful gaze of Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh. And you gave out at least 4 hard facts. Let me add a few to them. Just the facts on the charges relating to the excise policy that, by the way, Aam Aadmi Party government suddenly reversed. No one's talking about that. There is prima facie violations of the GNCTD Act 1991, Transaction of Business Rules 1993, Delhi Excise Act 2009, Delhi Excise Rules 2010. Worse, there was financial quid pro quo at the top political level wherein Sisodia took major decisions in violation of the statutory provisions. No one's talking about that. Finally, there were also, quote, deliberate and gross procedural lapses, unquote, to provide post-tender undue benefits to liquor licensees. Excise Department gave a waiver of 144.36 crores to the licensees on the tendered license fee in gross violation of Rule 4811B of the Delhi Excise Rule 2010. Also, Excise Department revised the formula of calculation of rates of foreign liquor without approval of the competent authority. Sisodia's closest aide has turned an approver. Has court now rejected Sisodia's bail? Tell me. These facts don't universally see the light of day, Rahul, because AAP government ad spending has increased by 4,273% over the last 10 years. Last year, they spent 488 crores on ad. Number 2, did Aam Aadmi Party not arrest a Congress MLA a week ago, Mr. Khera, on a case that the Supreme Court had itself squashed, and the Congress MLA was arrested based on investigations carried out by the same ED? There it said, let law take its course. Aam Aadmi Party, I'm afraid, is an Alcatraz from where logic managed to escape and swim to safety in the dead of the night. And finally, 3, look, it is not a question of misusing the investigative agencies, Rahul. The conviction rate of CBI is 70%, and the ED conviction rate, by the way, is 96% for PMLA cases. So we can't say that they aren't doing their job of nabbing the corrupt. That is being used properly. It is a question of using them selectively. But that's another debate altogether.
Absolutely, and we can always have that debate. We can always look at the number of BJP or NDA alliance partners and their leaders who have been sort of set upon by the ED, if you want to use those words, as the opposition does. And of course, look at the numbers on the opposition side of the fence, and you will see, viewers, without a doubt, that there is a predominance of cases that are filed against the opposition leaders. And today the Supreme Court also sort of urged the ED, some people would say, wrap the ED in another case, not related to this, for not being transparent and for not being fastidious and for being arbitrary. So that's a separate conversation in regards to that particular case. I don't know if that applies to this particular case, but it will obviously be brought up in our debate tonight, and I have no reasons to believe that it won't. But let me also tell you what Mr. Kejriwal said on Khera's arrest that Dr. Ranganathan and I pointed out to you a little while back, viewers. He said the AAP is committed to India alliance, but it will not separate from the alliance at any cost, even though there might have been an arrest of a Congress leader. We are bound to respect the alliance. I've heard that someone was arrested, someone, he said, in a drug case yesterday by the Punjab police. The Bhagwant Mann government is committed and the AAP government is committed to ending the drug menace. Nobody will be spared, no matter how big or small they might be. This is what Kejriwal said when he was asked. The Congress is accusing you of arbitrariness, of using agencies. Sanjay Singh has also come out and sent a message before his arrest. Listen in, viewers.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार के भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ, अडानी के महाघोटाले के खिलाफ लगातार मैं बोलता रहा, अपनी आवाज उठाता रहा। ईडी में कई शिकायतें भी अडानी के खिलाफ की, उनके घोटाले के खिलाफ की, उस पर कभी कोई कार्रवाई नहीं। और आज अचानक ईडी मेरे घर पे पहुंच जाती है, दिन भर छापेमारी की, सारी जांच की, सब कुछ खोल डाला, कुछ नहीं निकला। बावजूद इसके जबरन मेरी गिरफ्तारी की जा रही है। लेकिन हम लोग आम आदमी पार्टी के सिपाही हैं। मोदी जी से कहना चाहते हैं, मोदी जी आप चुनाव हार रहे हैं, बुरी तरीके से हार रहे हैं, और ये आपकी हताशा का संकेत है, ये आपकी हार का संकेत है। ये उदाहरण है इस बात का कि एक कायर, एक डरपोक प्रधानमंत्री किस तरीके से जुल्म करके, तानाशाही करके, लोगों को जेल में डाल के चुनाव जीतना चाहता है। लेकिन मैं मोदी जी आपको याद दिलाना चाहता हूँ, जब जब जुल्म बढ़ता है तब तक उसके खिलाफ जनता की आवाज बुलंद होती है। मैंने पहले भी कहा है अपने साथियों से, आज फिर दोहरा रहा हूं, मरना मंजूर है, डरना मंजूर नहीं है। चाहे जितनी यातनाएं मोदी जी दें, नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार के भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ, अडानी के महाघोटाले के खिलाफ बोलता रहा हूं, बोलता रहूंगा। आज दिन भर की छापेमारी में पूरा घर खोद डाला, कुछ नहीं मिला, बावजूद इसकी गिरफ्तारी हो रही है। अभी दुनिया भर की झूठी खबरें प्लांट की जाएंगी, दुनिया भर के झूठे समाचार फैलाए जाएंगे।
Well, there you go, viewers. That's Sanjay Singh. Now, remember what the court said. Because Sanjay Singh is stressing on the fact that nothing has been recovered from me, not a paisa. The court said even with no recovery of proceeds of crime, conduct amounts to involvement. This is with regards to Sisodia. Viewers, that same principle could easily be applied tomorrow to Sanjay Singh, and the AAP will be deprived of that one particular crutch that it constantly hangs on to. Let me just open this up, go across to Manaswi Thapar, Dr. Raman, and of course RP Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Thapar, look, I don't understand this. Proceeds of crime, proceeds of crime, proceeds of crime. Because they haven't been recovered, we are innocent. I mean, in today's day and age, when there's an ongoing inquiry, first of all, there are many ways of sort of, either spending or either hiding those proceeds of crime. That does seem to be a bit of an argument that is on thin ice. But the court has said that even without no recovery of proceeds, conduct amounts to involvement. So, face the music. Let the courts assess. Why go around saying that, oh, this is because, Modi is losing the election, this, that, the other? Why?
I think because if the opposition is saying this, they have the entire right to say that, because what has happened in the past after 2014, all those corrupt people, all those people who charges by ED and the CBI, once they jumped the ship, it was all for the ED and CBI to not interrogate them, not investigate them, and all put and okay stories to them. So it is only ED is doing a great job in eliminating the opposition over the corrupt. It's okay for the ED to do that, and we as a country should be proud that ED is only effective on opposition. And when it comes to the BJP and the people who have joined BJP, ED is doing nothing on that front. Are we trying to say that
Mr.
Himanta
Thapar,
Biswa Sarma, who once a corrupt person is no more a corrupt person?
You make a very good point. Mr. Thapar, you make a very good point about the selectivity of the ED, and Dr. Ranganathan has already talked about it. I've already talked about it. Let's get to the specifics, because otherwise people will accuse you of whataboutery, and you're a very sensible spokesperson, a public voice, a lawyer, and you know that all of this won't stand up in court. what will stand up in court is a credible defense based on facts. So can you give me 2 or 3 facts that answer the question I asked you? With no recovery of proceeds, the conduct amounts to involvement, says the court. Why would the court have said this?
When we are talking about the conduct of ED, I think we should talk about the entirety of it. When you are talking about specifics, I would not have the specifics of Sanjay Singh because I am not his lawyer, I am not his party spokesperson, I will not have the specifics of it. But the reality is, the ED's conduct is questionable. ED's conduct was also questionable when UPA was in power. Narendra Modi
selectivity and selectivity of the ED. Okay, is the only point. Is the only point. Conviction rates don't matter, etc. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan is raising his hand. Quick response. Yes.
Allow me, Rahul.
Yeah, of course. Make your point.
Yeah. The reality is, if we want corruption-free India, I think RP Singh ji would also want corruption-free India. It should be corruption-free India in totality. It cannot be corruption-free India only for opposition.
But the ED investigated Mr. Khera in Punjab, and they found him to be quote unquote guilty according to the ED, and on the basis of that, the Punjab police has also arrested Sukhpal Khera.
Arrest everyone.
No, but then how can the ED be doing a good job with Khera and...
Why is Mr. Rane not arrested? Why are they still in BJP?
Okay.
Why are they not behind the bar?
Okay.
Are we saying that corruption in BJP is allowed? It's legalized?
Okay.
My only pointed question is, are we allowing corruption in BJP?
Okay.
So it's a very good story then.
Okay, so fine. Let me bring in
Today's
Dr.
can be tomorrow's BJP MP.
Manasvi, please allow me.
Today's corrupt can be tomorrow's BJP MP.
We got your point. Okay, Dr. Ranganath.
Yes, Manasvi, please, you're a great friend, but please do not talk about corruption being in the Congress. If you're talking about BJP people being corrupt, then why did you induct them in Karnataka into your party? Now, when you are accusing Rahul, not Rahul Gandhi, but Rahul Shiv Shankar of not talking about the ED and the conviction rate and the selectivity, let me tell you and assure you that for the first time when India heard about the selectivity of ED and CBI, it was through Rahul Shiv Shankar. I am sure you were also there, or maybe Tehseen was there. I remember being on that show, Rahul, where you talked about 95 to 96% of the cases that ED and CBI and other investigative agencies are handling are from non-BJP people. It was through you. So nobody can accuse you of being selective. Number 3, when I heard Mr. Sanjay Singh right now, when he's saying कि मोदी जी इलेक्शन हारने वाले हैं इसीलिए अरेस्ट कर रहे हैं, should I take it कि आप पंजाब में हारने वाला है इसीलिए खेरा को अरेस्ट किया है? You know, he is talking like a person who's selling cinema tickets in black is arrested, and he's saying, why are you arresting me? The movie is so popular. It's not my mistake. Doesn't make sense.
Well, again, this business of saying the elections are around the corner, this, that, the other, well, the ED also went after, if you want to use that word, because that's what the TMC will, their leaders at that time, Mr. Kejriwal supported the ED. So there is enough reason for us to suspect that, as I said, when the shoe begins to pinch, then there's a problem. And this might cut across all parties. And let me bring in, one second, the Bharatiya Janata Party's national spokesperson, RP Singh. RP Singh, let's first get out the elephant in the room. The ED is selective. ठीक है, हमारे को आप investigate करो, opposition में, come and investigate us. We might be corrupt, put us in jail, but also put some of your people in jail. I remember that you pulled in a particular politician called Mr. Chaudhary that the ED tweeted about and said, oh, 5,000 crore scandal, and he's sitting today in the Bharatiya Janata Party. So that's one question that you need to answer. And obviously the second question, which is the more pointed one, is this an election-related witch hunt?
Well, I'll answer your second question first. If it's an election-related witch hunt, then what's happening in Punjab? I mean, you just spoke about just Sukhpal Singh Khera, just one person. It's not Sukhpal Singh Khera. There have been 4 ministers of the Congress party who have been arrested by Vigilance Department in Punjab, and one of them is still in jail. The former Deputy CM, OP Soni, is still in jail. But shall I say that it's only because of election? Probably Aam Aadmi Party is trying to do arm twisting of the Congress party to get some seats, in Madhya Pradesh or in Rajasthan or in Chhattisgarh. They are trying to bargain some seats, and that's why they are arresting all these people and not letting them out. No, they say that we have, you just mentioned, Mr. Kejriwal said, oh, some gentleman has been arrested in drug case. So if they fight drug or they fight corruption, let me remind you, those 4 have been arrested in corruption cases. So if they fight corruption in their state, is okay. If Government of India or the ED fights corruption, oh, then there's an issue in that. So there's a different parameters for different people, for different parties. It doesn't work that way. I mean, you have the same parameter for everyone. And let's understand, and I'll take another 2 minutes. Let's understand how this whole of this thing happened. Mr. Ranganathan pointed about the NCT and the excise. I remember there's an excise officer who raised a question on cartelization and blacklisted company being given tenders. That's how the whole issue started. And he wrote a letter to Mr. Kejriwal. And October 20, and this was the time when Corona was on, and then he probably thought how to make profit out of this adverse situation. So he did that. And then after that, the Chief Secretary raised a red flag. And then as far as NCT goes, give me another second, this is very important. NCT goes, Mr. Kejriwal went for a post facto approval from the cabinet. And the Chief Secretary said, we can't do that. We can't have post facto approval on the financial subject.
Okay.
Financial subject.
What about the first question?
One committed, either it can be as per law.
What about the first question?
I'm coming to that also. And again, I'm coming to that also. Allow me to express my point. So also on the whether it's being selective or not, I'm giving a challenge. Please, Mr. Mansi himself is a good lawyer. Let him hire few other good lawyers. Let them name a person. Let them go to court. I'll pay the fees for Mr. Mansi and other lawyers against any BJP person who need to be prosecuted as per law. Please go ahead.
No, please.
Mr. Mansi,
okay, now look, that's a losing proposition. Don't bet your house and everything on that, because there will be several things that we can point out.
Don't bother. No, for corruption. For fight against corruption.
Yes, corruption.
For fight against
but
corruption.
I must say,
yes,
with the straight face, with the straight face that you made your point, that there, you know, I must say, well, you've got great confidence, but unfortunately the facts don't add up there, viewers, and I'll give you some facts about that in just a few moments. But I want to bring in Dr. Sumansi Raman. Dr. Raman, forget about the BJP, forget about the Enforcement Directorate. The India bloc, which Mr. Kejriwal is committed to, in that bloc there is a party called the Congress. There's a party called the TMC. Both Congress and TMC have found themselves on the wrong end of the Enforcement Directorate. Kejriwal has never come out and supported any of those people, in fact supported the Enforcement Directorate. Let me also say, from the Congress there is an individual called Mr. Ajay Makhan. I'm sure you've heard of Mr. Ajay Makhan. He's the senior most Congress leader in the union capital where the AAP has a government. And what did he say about Manish Sisodia? He said, and I quote him, open and shut case of corruption, unquote. The two leaders, and he's talking about Sisodia and Kejriwal, are deeply involved in corruption. This is a Congress saying it, an ally. So where's the argument here?
First of all, okay, Rahul, first of all, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party were not allies, and they have only come together, and they are still not allies at the state level. They are purely coming together as part of the India alliance to defeat the BJP in one particular election, full stop. So I think that this is doesn't seem to be very clear. When we say Mr. Khera has been arrested, Congress and AAP are not in alliance in Punjab, or not, they are not saying that we will merge our parties in Punjab. They are not saying that. Now let's look at the facts very clearly. One, I think from an India alliance perspective, this arrest of Mr. Sanjay Singh is welcome, because it will push Mr. Kejriwal even closer to the India camp. So the second point, I don't know whether you've just seen a breaking news where Mr. Sharad Pawar said Mr. Kejriwal, that he has had a discussion with Mr. Kejriwal, and Mr. Kejriwal has even said he is not averse to conceding 3 seats in Delhi out of the 7 to the Congress party to contest in 2024. So I think that things are going rather too well for the India alliance at the moment, which is why we need to come up with, they won't stick together, AAP and Congress are fighting, TMC and Congress are fighting, everything will collapse,
one second,
BJP will win.
One second, please.
I think there is some kind of panic now.
Okay, but Dr. Raman, one
Let me
second.
finish, Rahul.
One second. Let's
I
not
think
speak
there is-
over each other.
there
Let
is-
Dr.
let
Raman
me finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that there is some kind of panic which is setting in, which is what we saw yesterday with the raids on freelance journalists and contributors and young, sub-editors and so on at NewsClick. And we also saw the arrest today of Sanjay Singh. By the way, Rahul, I'm sure you must be aware, the Enforcement Directorate told the court that they had added his name, Sanjay Singh's name, by mistake in the charge sheet on the on the excise scam. And you know what they did? They sent a letter of apology. When was this? May 2023. Sanjay Singh subsequently said he will sue. He has in fact written to the finance secretary asking for permission to prosecute the enforcement director.
You're right about that.
Enforcement directorate director and the deputy director.
But
so the enforcement directorate bosses have a genuine reason to go after Sanjay Singh.
Okay, so let me just ask you, there's one question which is very...
to defer bail to Manish Sisodia.
Okay, one very important question that Dr.
Raman... bail to Manish Sisodia, saying Dr. we found
Raman,
something now.
One important follow-up question, now that you've completed. Look, I'm very worried. You've said that this India bloc is an alliance of convenience. People have only come together, this is what you've said, to defeat Modi in one election. And therefore, are you suggesting...
They have said it. I am not saying it.
Okay, so they have said it. So you should not therefore...
I am not saying it. They have themselves said it.
Okay, so Dr. Raman, therefore, why is Modi worried? Because if it is such a transparently transactional relationship based on convenience and not conviction, the people will also see through it. So he's not going to lose to the India bloc. The people will say, well, we're not going to vote for a bunch of people who might split right after. Some of them might even join the BJP. Dr. Raman, this is a...
look, Rahul, the point...
it's a sham.
The point really is that electorally, the BJP appears to be losing ground. And the fact that a common candidate against the BJP, well, in Maharashtra, in Karnataka, in Bihar,
not
Madhya
necessarily,
Pradesh to
sir.
some extent. So there
not
are many
necessarily.
places where the BJP
let me fact
ground.
check you. Let me
well,
fact check you. In Uttar Pradesh,
quote unquote,
2 elections.
Yeah.
One was an assembly election,
Not
one was a
UP.
general election.
I said...
No, why?
Rahul,
Uttar
I said
Pradesh is the most...
Karnataka,
No, 1 second, sir.
Bihar,
Give me a second. You said that when people come together and they put up one candidate, it's going to be curtains for the BJP. This has happened not once but twice in the most electorally significant state in the country, Uttar Pradesh, viewers. In an assembly election, you had...
and Gujarat,
Let me,
UP
sir.
and Gujarat are
Let me
exceptions.
finish.
UP
Sir,
and Gujarat are exceptions.
They are exception.
Even in 24, they are going to be BJP sweep.
Okay,
in UP and Gujarat.
Everything, viewers, that I can throw as a hard fact to puncture this argument is an exception. So then one could easily turn around and say that the arguments of the AAP are also an exception. Because after all, viewers, the ED can't be right in 3 other matters and wrong when it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party. So what is happening, Mr. Muni? Let me ask you, an analyst with deep sympathies to the Aam Aadmi Party, what is happening here? Okay, in Bengal, ED is God. And in Delhi, it becomes goon. How does this work?
Rahul, it's a pleasure meeting you here and discussing the topic with you for the first time. Coming on to the hard facts, I'll give some facts only, no other rhetorics.
Good.
Age 49 vents were, liquor vents were given out. And prior to the liquor policy, there was 849 vents. And there was tendering process. Where is a scam? Now, wait a minute. Then what happens is that the ED says that there is 100 crore scam, from which for 70 crore, and now this is ED saying, for the 70 crore, they don't have any proof of it. For the 30 crore, they have proof with someone called Rajesh Joshi. Now, Rajesh Joshi, who has got, they said that Rajesh Joshi has got 30 crore from South liquor lobby. Fair enough. Now this Rajesh Joshi, and through Rajesh Joshi, the money went to Vijay Nayak, money went to Kejriwal. Interestingly, the Rouse Avenue Court give a bill to Rajesh Joshi and say that there is not a iota of proof against him in this particular ED case. You can check the facts. So where is the 30 crore?
Okay, so Mr. Muni.
So there is now listen. Now tell me. Now I'll just shoot one question to all my parties. Where is the money? Not a single penny of money.
I'll bring you back to what the court has said. Even with no recovery of proceeds. Even with no recovery of proceeds. This was the court saying when Sisodia applied for bail. And Dr. Ranganathan is pointing to the screen. With no recovery of proceeds, conduct amounts to involvement.
Okay. Now, other panelists might not know about it. You have asked them the question. Now, let me have 5 seconds more. Let me have 5 seconds more.
Yeah,
now,
please.
this PMLA, the PMLA Act has this section under them that apart from the onus of proving them innocent is on the accused. This is the PMLA Act. And that is what today Supreme Court has also said it to ED that you have got lots of power. So with power comes great responsibility. So this is the
for this you must blame your own ally, the Congress, who under Chidambaram came up with this draconian PMLA Act. Don't blame the government concerned. And this was also upheld by the Supreme Court. By the way, this great mantle of powers was upheld by the Supreme Court. One second, Akashdeep Muni, I just want to ask you, you said, okay, all of this happened, then why was this policy withdrawn? Why was it withdrawn?
I told you many of your shows, sir, that this policy was withdrawn. There's a long story on it. If you give me 5 or 4 minutes, I will tell you that how many licenses were given.
Well, I don't know, because the court is still asking the Aam Aadmi Party why has it been withdrawn, and we are yet to await a response from the AAP in court. So we'll wait for that. One second, I don't know. You're not the AAP. You're not the AAP. Let me bring in Dr. Ranganathan. 1 second. That's not fair. Dr. Ranganathan, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Rahul, look, the beauty of your show is not only that you are present, but also the title of your show is Hard Facts. So let me just stick to hard facts. Number one, my very good friend and very erudite person, Dr. Sumant Raman. I don't expect him to be so outrageously cynical that when he says that AAP and Congress have combined together to fight Modi at the central level on the plank of corruption, and they are fighting each other on the plank of corruption. How does that happen, Dr. Raman? That they are against Modi on the subject of corruption, but they are accusing each other of corruption. Number two, when Dr. Sumant Raman talked about the ED adding Sanjay Singh's name by mistake, I am sorry, it's only half truth, because let me now quote the ED. The most recent one. Quote, Dinesh Arora is the approver, by the way. He initially met Sanjay Singh, through whom he came in contact with Manish Sisodia during a party at his own restaurant, namely Unplugged Courtyard. On the request of Sanjay Singh, he spoke with many of the restaurant owners and arranged checks amounting to rupees 32 lakhs handed over to Sisodia for collection of party funds for upcoming elections in Delhi, unquote. So please do not quote selectively. Yes, ED made an error earlier. Months ago.
My point was in May.
It is related.
My point was related to May.
Please, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. It was backdated to May. Yes. I know that. Things have moved forward. Anyhow, I'm just taking a short break.
Can I refute that?
Yeah.
Can I refute that?
Yeah, of course.
Can I refute that?
Yeah, okay.
No, the point, Rahul, the point is very simple. So far, all that we have in terms of a money trail are some people who decided to turn approvers, saying I gave him 3 crores, I gave him 4 crores, and so on. Beyond that, the money trail, if it has been established, has not been put out in public domain for the people to see, which is why the Aam Aadmi Party has gone on. One second. The point really is that without a money trail, it is going to be extremely difficult. Whatever the court may have said in
Dr. Raman, on that point, I am going to quote the hard fact of what the court has said on this issue. And therefore, I included this.
That is not a judgment. That is not a judgment.
It's an observation, sir. But can you allow me?
These are oral observations.
Sir, but yours is a judgment. Yours is a judgment. The court that is actually trying the process is not a judgment. It's an observation. Yours is equally an observation then. You can't say, oh, because there is no money, there is no crime.
The letter was given.
Come on. I mean, are you saying that you are a greater court of authority than the High Court of this country?
I'm not.
Okay, wait. I mean, look at the certitude.
I'm not. All I'm saying is the High Court
don't speak over me, sir.
Please,
I beg you, don't speak over me. Dr. Raman says with great certitude, when there is no money, there are no proceeds of crime, there is no crime. And when I say, but the court has said that it is not necessarily true, he says, oh, that's only an observation, not a verdict. He can pass a verdict. The court, the poor court, which is in this matter the arbitrary
I am not passing a verdict.
organization, that has no locus standi. Okay, Manasvi Thapar, I'm coming back to that point. Right after this short break, we'll also check in with our reporters, but I want you to very quickly come up with a response to this. This whole business of proceeds of किसी के mattress के नीचे से पैसा नहीं निकला, no money has been recovered from under a mattress, so they are innocent. Viewers, we are coming right back to that point. We'll hear Manasvi Thapar, he's a lawyer, he knows these things. Let's hear from him.
Co-powered by every situation to Khalistan, like Shubh came to in Bombay for the controversy. If any कोई भी बंदा पंजाबी हुंदा ना ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਨਾਲ.
ट्रूडो ने इंडिया पे एलिगेशन लगाया राइट एंड नाउअडेज इंडिया ट्रूडो पे एलिगेशन लगा रहा है दैट ही केम टू इंडिया व्हाइल लाइक G20 राइट सो दैट टाइम ही वाज लाइक not in his condition, he was like drug and all these things, so like they are putting Trudeau image down as well, and so that's not good for us.
We are in the starting phase of our commitment, so like not actually we are feeling unsettled, but at some point when we go out and saw something undisturbing, we really feel unsettled about that.
I'm happy too and sad also. It's very difficult to describe it because as I am an international student, it's really hard to live without my parents. But on some point, I feel like I made a wrong decision. But after some time, I know it will gonna change that in a good decision. But for now I feel
The Sheridan College offers a very large number of courses, and one of the departments seems particularly useful and promising in today's environment. The students here are almost all Indian. Without doubt, this college would close down were it not for Indian students. As many as 320,000 Indian students were enrolled in Canadian colleges at the end of last year, bringing more than 10 billion Canadian dollars to the economy. It's not all bad for the students though. The college plaza just across from the college provides a buzzing social life in the evenings.
everything is same. People are so peaceful just like before, so there nothing changed in my life. As I am working at Tim Hortons, so I meet many people. Like people say there are Asian people that are not good for them, but no, people are not saying anything.
No, there hasn't been any change. It's life as usual over here as of now, and there's nothing as such a concern over here or safety issues. Apart from that, I think most of the colleges have already shared links and other resources with the students if they feel unsafe. And if they are not comfortable, they can always reach out to their respective universities and colleges.
I think every college have provided securities and insurance to the students, and where I live I didn't find any difference. I live with a Punjabi family. I found it like a home. Political issues, I don't think there is no problems for students, as I don't find it that much issue or problem for me.
The greater fear is not immediate and political, it is long term, what they'll do with themselves when they're done with all this, whether they'll find settlement, whether they'll find jobs, and on those, the future does not look very promising at all.
I can say the particular problem over here is for accommodation and for job as well, because recession is going on a lot right now, and it's very hard for an international student to find a job over here. Apart from that, people over here are very great. Place is nice, weather is nice, so yeah, we enjoy it, but as well as some stuffs like this are unstable over here.
So like government can take any action for them because we are not safe because we are not citizen as well, and we are not any PR, so we are only like study permit. So like anything can happen. Like they can say that a student can't be allowed in Canada anymore, and they can send back. As well as like there are a lot of students in India which, they dream to come to Canada, right? So if there any cancellation of the study permit as well as other things, so they have problem in there.
Sheridan College here in Brampton, just west of Toronto, a very Punjabi area, and to be honest, it's very Punjabi in there as well among the students, and there are of course as many different views and experiences of the present situation as there are students, but a lot of the students, if not hugely worried, do seem at the least a little apprehensive about what's going on.
Right now, because there are a lot of things are going on, and we have also fear that we need to go back to home, like how we will get to home, and like there are some news are running that they will send back students to India as well. So there are some certain things which we need to think about that.
Actually, I respected both countries, India and Canada, but India media is showing on every situation to Khalistan, like Shubh came to in Bombay for the controversy. If any कोई भी बंदा पंजाबी हुंदा ना ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਨਾਲ.
ट्रूडो ने इंडिया पे एलिगेशन लगाया, राइट, एंड नाउअडेज इंडिया ट्रूडो पे एलिगेशन लगा रहा है दैट ही केम टू इंडिया व्हाइल लाइक G20, राइट. सो दैट टाइम ही वाज लाइक not in his condition, he was like drug and all these things, so like they are putting Trudeau image down as well, and so that's not good for us.
We are in the starting phase of our commitment, so like not actually we are feeling unsettled, but at some point when we go out and saw something undisturbing, we really feel unsettled about that.
I'm happy too and sad also. It's very difficult to describe it because as I am an international student, it's really hard to live without my parents. But on some
Viewers, welcome back. Big dramatic developments in the Union capital today as the third top-ranking AAP leader was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. That leader is Member of Parliament Sanjay Singh. He's there on your screens being led away to the Enforcement Directorate office as of now. The Enforcement Directorate hasn't put out any statement to tell us what the exact reason is. We've been debating this particular issue for the last 25-30 minutes, viewers, and let's go back to that debate. The question that was asked was, if there are no proceeds of crime being recovered from the accused, is he guilty? The court has said in connection with the Sisodia matter that even with no recovery of proceeds, conduct amounts to involvement, prima facie, saying that it's guilty. We'll show all our guests, of course, but I just want to bring you in on this, Mr. Thapar. You know that this is a big debate raging around the PMLA Act about the exact definition of proceeds of crime. What do you say? Can't hear you. I think you might be on mute. Yeah, unmute yourself. Thank you.
The legal jurisprudence, Rahul, is basically about innocent until proven guilty. But in the present times, what we see is guilty until proven innocent. And this is what is happening. So ED arrests you, CBI arrests you. Yes, they are criminals. They are the people who have done the corruption. But that is not the case when it comes to the final judgment of it. This has been a political issue. We have in the past, we know the of the ED and the CBI, and they're working.
Okay.
As soon as
well,
we have seen political...
I didn't ask you a loaded question. I asked you a legal question. So I wanted your response in context to what I was asking you. Is proceed of crime essential for the ED to prove a charge? Now, that is what I was hoping to hear from you. There's a huge debate in legal circles on that, viewers, and what constitutes the definition of proceeds of crime. And nonetheless, before we go down that rabbit hole, let me... Okay, let me just go straight...
There are no proceeds of crime.
Okay, well, I don't know, you don't know. None of us are experts on this matter. That's right, so things can change. I'm just going straight across... I'm going straight across to our reporters on the ground once again who've been holding forth on this story. But just before that, viewers, I want you to listen very closely to what Sanjay Singh has said in his own defense. Once more, pinning the blame on Narendra Modi and his government, saying he's losing the elections and he's finding scapegoats. Very quickly, We can play that soundbite, but before that, let me also go across to Anvit. Anvit, good evening. You've been doing a great job there for the last 12 hours. What's happening outside the Enforcement Directorate office? Are we expecting a press conference of any kind from the ED tonight?
Well, thank you, Rahul. But see, as far as the development on ground outside the ED headquarters is concerned, Delhi police officials, senior officials are here, and heavy barricading has been done. Both the side, the road that is in front of the ED headquarters, at both ends, it has been barricaded. And what the police is saying that no one will be allowed inside, even though as at Sanjay Singh's residence we saw previously, a lot of AAP members and activists had reached there and they had been raising slogans against the ruling government. But as far as the ED headquarters is concerned, because Sanjay Singh is now there, what the police are saying that they have heavily barricaded the entire area. Senior officials of the Delta 1 and Delta 3 Deputy Commissioner level officer are there on ground, and they are keeping a keen eye on every development outside the headquarters. Presence of force has been increased in multifold, and police are saying that no activist or no member of the AAP will be allowed to demonstrate outside the ED headquarters or in the vicinity of the building where Sanjay Singh has been taken. Also, for the reasons that Singh will undergo a medical checkup, which is expected to happen either late night or during the early hours tomorrow. Now there are two options at the ED. Either he can be taken out to RML hospital, or a doctor may be called in and he will be medically examined at the ED headquarters inside the building itself. He will be produced tomorrow before the magistrate. So we are expecting that he will be taken to MPMLS court at the Rouse Avenue, and it is expected to happen around 2 p.m. But we'll see tomorrow also Delhi police is having a meeting right now. It's underway, where they're deciding their move and how to move Sanjay Singh to the court, and then for the medical examination, the heavy police cordon.
Well, the reason they're having that meeting, viewers, is because there has been, over the last few weeks, every time there's been an arrest and attempt to surround the ED office, to mount some sort of a big dharna there. It has happened when Mr. Sisodia was taken in, and then of course it led to a lot of problem, because there were confrontations between AAP supporters, AAP leaders, as well as the authorities, the police. But viewers, look, at the end of the day, the AAP says that this is a witch hunt. Does that charge really stand up when the AAP itself cherry picks when to back the Enforcement Directorate and when not to back the Enforcement Directorate? I just want to quickly go back to the hard facts, leave you with this thought. In Punjab, recently, the Punjab police arrested Congress leader Mr. Khera in a PMLA case, which was linked to a 2016 drug case, viewers. 2016 drug case. ED had probed the link and arrested Khera first. Despite a Supreme Court stay on summons to Khera, he was arrested by the AAP. The Congress has protested that, saying that this is a witch hunt. Same charge, viewers. It's a strange irony, isn't it? So then the ED had done a lot of investigation. The SIT of the Punjab police is built on that case. In this case, the ED is right for the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab. 3 other Congress leaders have also been arrested, by the way. AAP welcomes ED action on TMC leaders, asking them to face the agencies. Now, this happened, viewers, with regards to the Aam Aadmi Party wanting to contest in Bengal and create a slight buzz around themselves, and they decided to therefore take on Mamata Banerjee, and they said to Mamata Banerjee and her TMC leaders, don't run away from the Enforcement Directorate. Face them. Face the agencies, because you have corruption charges against you. So then again, viewers, the ED was right, because it suited the Aam Aadmi Party at that time politically to make a point against the TMC. Then, viewers, comes the case of Karti Chidambaram and the NX Media scam, alleged scam that the ED investigated. Karti Chidambaram was arrested. The Congress protested the arrest. At that time, the AAP remained completely non-committal. Mr. Kejriwal and others did not mention a word about this. And remember, viewers, the Robert Vadra issue, when the ED was prosecuting or attempting to prosecute Robert Vadra, once again, the AAP kept silent. In fact, there were instances when the AAP even came out and said that, look, this is corruption and that Vadra needs to answer. Of course, that case hasn't amounted to much. But viewers, I'll leave it at that tonight. Anand Narasimhan coming up with the right stand in just a few moments. Stay tuned, don't go away. Another huge exclusive by CNN News 18 tonight.